All right, this will be a day trading recap for Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. So, looking at the pre-market, price is at all-time highs. It's been in this higher time frame balance. You can see that right here. But the previous session and into the overnight session, we've seen a lot of weakness. So, two main scenarios I was watching were first, for ways to look for a mean reversion of this higher time frame balance. And I would either look for a reversal out of this 7725, 7715 area down here, or if price was strong and could break above this resistance level, I believe the 7740s, I would then look for an upside continuation into this area. And then to the downside, if this 7715 low was taken, I'd be looking for shorts. So pretty simple. Let's get into it. So market rips it open, start selling off into that 7725, 7715 key level. So this is where I'm looking for long reversals, and I do end up getting a quick entry. So you can see on the sell-off into this level, we get selling absorption right there. Aggressive buying comes in and pushes on this retest. We don't quite get down into our key level down here. But I do see selling get exhausted. I enter. This pushes pretty quickly, but then rejects pretty much immediately and stops me out. I was only in that trade for less than a minute. And I really should have not risked as much as I did. First of all, stop loss is at 24.5. It probably could have been at least 25. So that's 2 ticks right there that I could have saved. And then when this rejected here and this offer comes in, I know it was super quick, so it would have been hard, but I really should have been able to cut this here in the 26s, just as a clear red flag coming in already, being on an entry that it didn't check off every single box. Everything about this entry was great, besides I would have just liked it to pull back a little bit more. So with those two things being said, I should have cut this early. I ended up losing 3.5 points on it. I was sized down, which is good. But it really should have only been like a 2-ish, if that, point loss. But it is what it is. We move on. So price after that does end up rallying, breaking high of day just barely. It then pushes back into the middle of this intraday balance where I take 2 more entries. And I'm not super happy with them. I know that taking a trade in the middle of a balance, especially an intraday balance, that is this tight is just, it's not a good probability. It can work, it will work once in a while, but it's not a trade I take because I don't want to take trades that I have to get lucky on to win. I don't want to take a trade that I only win 2 out of 10 times. It just doesn't make sense. There's way too much pain involved in that. But I convinced myself to take it anyway, so we'll get into that. So we get this. Part of what led me to this was first getting a little bit of FOMO here, being out of this and then it moving, and then getting a little bit of FOMO that it was going to go without me, which is not a valid reason to trade, but it is what affected me here. So we get some absorption down here. See that? Oh, it's selling in here. Then we get buying. Pulls back down. This bid right here starts to absorb. Buying starts to come in off of that, and I get an entry. Only real red flag is this offer sitting right here. But I do end up cutting this trade for a 2.25 point loss. Within, again, just 1 minute, I was in and out. And then I ended up re-entering the setup. Definitely a little bit of FOMO at this point, and revenge. Kind of peeked into my old habits just for a second. I'm getting in on this again. Pretty much same context as that first entry. Just trying to do too much and force it at this point. Like I don't need to be taking this already poor setup twice. Right inside of this intraday balance. Yeah, like if this was at a low and I was looking for a reversal and it wasn't in the middle of an intraday balance, this could be pretty solid, but it still wouldn't be the best ever because of this offer sitting right here. So really, a little bit of lapse in judgment on those 2 setups right there. Like I knew what I was getting into when I was doing it, and I at that point in time, I made the decision to say, F it, I don't care, which is not a good thing to do. But I lost 2.75 points on that. So overall, 8.5 points on the day. A little bit heavy, nothing, nothing insane. I haven't killed myself. They were all smaller size. But what sucks is this was a thicker loss than it should have been, and these really could have been avoided. At least the second one for sure. First one, I can like every once in a while I'm willing to take that trade if it setups or confirmations are A+, everything looks great, especially if there wasn't that offer red flag above. But today was just not the day to take it. So I've been waiting for another setup. I was watching this failed break of low of day. Almost got an entry, just this candle didn't pull back enough. And then from there we've rallied, but nothing crazy. I mean, this is just, we're an hour and a half in almost, and this has just balanced. It's moved ultimately about 20 points, but it spent most of its time in about an 11-point range. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Not a perfect day, but at the same time, we're here to live another day. I don't think I'll be trading tomorrow, but I will be on Thursday and most likely not on Friday. So it's going to be it for this one. Peace.